What do you understand by software testing lifecycle?
So basically, software testing lifecycle, it's a sequence of different testing activities that we follow when we are testing the application. So it starts with, there are different phases in SDLC. It starts with the requirement analysis, where we analyze the requirement. After that, we go to the test planning. We will plan what are the activities to be included in the test plans. And then the next stage is the test case designing. We will write the test case and then preparing the test data. And after writing the test case, we move to the test implementation. We will arrange all the test cases in the test suite. And the next stage is the test execution. We will execute the test case and check the status of the test cases, whether it is passed or failed. If there is any discrepancy, then we'll write a defect report. And the next stage, we move to the test completion. We will, once all the activities has been completed, test completion, test closure is the final activity before after releasing the product, where we'll have the test summary report and the test progress report.
Great. Yeah. So on this whole life cycle that you have explained very well, like all the phases you have covered absolutely in detail. What happens in test planning? Can you elaborate a little bit detail in the test planning?
Like test planning is a kind of planning. We will plan for the entire testing activities, like what to test and who will do each task. And then they will also mention about the entry and the exit criteria and what are the testing approaches to be followed.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So this is more of, like traditional way, how the overall, still it is followed, like entry criteria, exit criteria. Still, even in agile development, there will be some projects where you will have to prepare the plan, especially in banking. So we still do it. So absolutely. So and apart from entry criteria, exit criteria, what to test, what not to test, any other important thing that goes in there?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay, so like who will do what, resourcing, right? The timeline things. Yeah. Okay, great. So absolutely. Can you elaborate a little bit around defect reporting and tracking?
It's like you're asking about the defect reporting, the case of the defect.
Yes.
The parameters.
Yeah. So like what exactly you do when you say I'm reporting a defect, and then what you do when you say I'm tracking a defect. So
fine.
Yeah. So start with reporting. Yeah.
Fine. So like a defect reporting, if there is any discrepancy between the actual result and the expected result, as a tester, I will write the defect report. So I will be including these parameters in my defect report, like the title, and then what are the steps to reproduce, the expected result and the actual result, and then the priority as well as the screenshot.
Yes.
This is what we basically include in the defect report.
Right. Yeah. And is there any very important thing that you missed in the defect report?
Test environment and the date and the name and the date, test environment.
Yes, test environment and the build.
Date
and build. Yeah. So test environment, yes, very important. And the build, basically which version you are testing against, right? So say, for example, in version ABC, the code was pushed into the test environment, right? So that is very essential part that developers need to know against which version you tested. But other things, absolutely, you covered almost everything. Steps to reproduce, expected, actual logs, screenshots. So these are some of the very, very important thing. And once because you know all of these key things, if you have to go ahead and write, because you know the concepts, you will be able to write, good report. So great. What do you understand by defect tracking?
I've never heard about defect tracking. It's like how to track the defect.
Yes. So it's I mean,
it is tracking.
You can use like tracking because it's a keyword that is mentioned there. But usually for a tester, tracking the defect is monitoring the defect, you can say, right? Whether just keeping an eye on the defect,
Okay.
But in terms of the test lead role, it's more of tracking the overall defects that occur in a project, and then having the defect triage meetings to see which defects are valid, which aren't valid, and then keeping a track of all the valid defects and seeing when those defects are getting fixed and reassigning them for retesting, right? So that's the actual sort of tracking, but different contexts, different meaning. All right.
Okay.
So no problem with that, because defect tracking is mostly, test lead and above. And I understand that you are, at initial level of your career. So absolutely fine. What exactly is Jira all about?
Jira is basically a tool which is used to track the issues,
Mm-hmm.
and mainly it is used in agile projects. Like people who were working in the agile team, they use this Jira tool to
Right.
manage their requirements and to track the
Great. Okay.
issues, whatever they do.
Yeah. It could be anything, like it could be defect, it could be stories, right? So Jira is agile project management tool, and a lot more than that. So it has built-in defect management within it, so you can track that. You can also enable test management within Jira with using some of the plugins. Okay, so it's so yeah, good.